What you're about to see is part of the infamous, nauseating, to those with an intact sensus Catholicus, ecumenical event sponsored by John Paul II in 1986 in Assisi. On the basis of this event alone, his sponsorship of it, his presiding over it, he proved himself a wretched apostate. After his sponsorship of this diabolical event, John Paul II should have been in sackcloth and ashes, repenting, publicly repenting. But that never happened. What you'll see here is just one example of the abominable violations of the First Commandment sponsored by John Paul II. Here, these Buddhist idolaters place an idol of the Buddha over the tabernacle. For more of this evil Assisi 1986 event, see my video entitled John Paul II, Diabolical Ecumenist, Forerunner of Francis. It's time to get real about this Novus Ordo anti-church. Also see the links I've provided below this video. To those of you tempted to comment sanctimoniously as if you occupy the moral high ground by supporting this vile apostate and those like him of the Novus Ordo anti-church, remember this. As Father Faber said, where there is no hatred of heresy, there is no holiness. You do not occupy the moral high ground. To those of you for whom this footage is new, this should make your blood boil with righteous indignation. Now, the liberals, of course, have mocked and scorned the very concept of righteous indignation for many, many, many years now. But you should have righteous indignation for this filth that you're about to see. And if you call yourself a Catholic and yet don't see this as the filth that it is, then you've got to ask yourself, what has happened to me? How did I become conformed to this world?
Those of other religions were assigned Christian churches to perform their worship services and to pray for peace. The Buddhists prayed in the parish church of St. Peter. They placed a small statue of Buddha on the altar. The Hindus assembled in the church of Santa Maria Maggiore. Sitting around the sanctuary, they invoked the whole succession of their gods. The Muslims gathered in the monastery of St. Anthony. The Aboriginals of Africa prayed in the church of St. Gregory and prepared their peace pipes inside the sanctuary. The Shintoists were assigned to the Benedictine monastery.